to Casual Gamer Oz as we continue F1 2016, our career mode, first season with driver Ben Waterworth. That's me as well. And yeah, we're into Spa-Francorchamps, very popular circuit, of course. And before we head into qualifying, let's just take a bit of a recap into the from the last race. Qualified in 10th place, was very satisfied with that. And the race itself, a wet one, and got a good start. Unfortunately, I got a little bit too fun on the brakes, ran into the back of Fernando Alonso, caused a bit of chaos behind me, damaged my front wing, gave me a 2-second penalty, had a bit of a fight with the Ferraris before letting them go, and got quite nervous for the rest of the race as I was stalked by two Williams. And given what happened to me in Hungary with Williams taking me out of the race, I was very nervous, but I held on, beat both of them, finished 7th on track with my 2-second penalty that I got from the incident with Alonso. I finished in 9th, got my second ever points finish, and I was very, very satisfied. So, yeah, I'm coming into Belgium feeling quite good about it. And, you know, me saying that, I'm going to fuck this up. So let's get into Spa-Francorchamps, and we have another wet one. Of course we do. Wet Spa is generally, well, you're used to having a wet Spa. And it actually looks like it's just starting to spit. So therefore, I am on a wet track with super soft tyres. So I've got the bum rap when it comes to qualifying. And oh, this is slippery. Oh, this is difficult. I am going to bin this one. Coming into Eau Rouge. And yeah. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Yeah. You can see I can not really control the car here. You know I'm going to spin out. Just hold it all. I'm fishtailing down the straight. Let go of the throttle. I hit the white line there, and I am going to end up in the wall at any point here. Let's just try and make the lap. This is very hard. Yep, I've just completely outbraked myself. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't get a warning for exceeding track limits there when that wasn't my fault. Wow. This is actually, I don't know if I've ever done F1 2016 on a qualifying session where it started to rain like this. Obviously in the race, I've done longer races before where I've, you know, had to change tyres, but on a one-lap qualifying for this to happen, this might be a first for me. So they expect me to finish in the top 21. I'm not going to do that because I'm dead last in 22 at the moment. I'm going to put it in the wall at any point here. One thing I will say, actually, which I've read about F1 2017, which is quite exciting. I mean, if I put this, if this was a free practice and I put it in the wall, you know, there's really no repercussions. Whereas I've noticed in F1 2017, one of the things that they're saying is if, for example, you damage your car in free practice 3, or you change a component in your car because there's going to be a lot more tinkering around you can do with the car, that will affect how much time you'll have on track for qualifying. So sort of, you know, simulating what happens in the real world, which is very exciting. And of course, one of the big upgrades that they're talking about with F1 2017 is your limits of engines. I mean, in real world Formula 1, you're only allowed 4 engines a year. I think it's 4 gearboxes a year. So it's going to be similar brought into the game as well. And you can edit components on your, you know, engines and that, and get group penalties if you change it and everything. So kind of really simulating what it's like in the real world, which is very, very exciting. I mean, for sort of the more casuals, I'm sure it might be something that can be switched off. And I know we're called Casual Gamer Oz, and you'll think that's something I want switched off. But I like that realism element to it, which, you know, makes it interesting. I've managed to survive this lap, so I'm actually quite happy with that. Even though I'm going to be dead last, it looked like I was going to be in the wall. So there you go, dead last, 22nd. That's what happens when you get a wet track and you're on dry tyres, and just happy that it didn't end up in the wall. So we'll take it. We'll take it, Ben. We'll take it. That means hopefully we can have a dry race. I mean, if you look at everybody else, they've all been on the super softs as well. So it's not like I was the only one that was actually drying there on a dry tyres on a wet race, a wet track. So fingers crossed for a dry race for Belgium, because I think that will make things interesting. So let's move ourselves into this race day. Now, look, I like Belgium. Everyone likes Belgium. Everyone likes Spa. It's a great racing circuit, one of the best pure racing circuits. Eau Rouge, I can never pronounce it properly. You know what I'm talking about, though. Arguably the greatest corner in Formula 1. I said back in Baku, the hardest one was on that track, but I mean the greatest corner you can ever find is definitely Eau Rouge, and I reckon it's probably where I'm going to bin it in the race. But I mean, it's kind of one that I like, but I've never kind of necessarily done too well at. I often make mistakes at this circuit because clearly I'm just a casual gamer and not brilliant. So I'm not not expecting too much from this race, but I guess we will soon see just how much we can expect from my experiences when it comes to racing at this circuit. Alright, we have a dry race. We have a dry race! Yay! Okay, let's have a look at our grid. Now this is kind of where my engine upgrades, my fuel upgrades, I was hoping. Alonso in second, where did that come from? Button in fourth. Obviously the Hondas, apparently, according to this, like fast speed circuit, which I think is bullshit. But yeah, my fuel tank I've been improving. I can maybe put the rich mode up a little bit, and on these power hungry circuits give me a bit of speed. One thing I will say though, I'm not really going through the grid here. Sainz, Grosjean, Kvyat, Magnussen, Palmer in 21st again. No, he's in 17th! Celebration for Palmer. That means both the Saubers will be in the back row. Yeah, I think it's kind of good though that clearly they're according to at least F1 2016 in the early stages, Honda are good on the power circuit. So you kind of see that, don't you? As it would be in real life, some cars are better suited to the fast speed, some better to the low speed, and we're clearly getting a replication of that early on in this. So that's, I think, a good little element, and I hope they continue that in F1 2017. Alrighty, let's get into this. Dead last, nothing to lose. Only going to finish in the top 21. Can we get at least ahead of my teammate here? I'm going to bum it onto the inside straight away to head into La Source, because this is where you can make positions up. Nazar. Oh, Felipe! That was a little bit dangerous. And what the actual fuck? He drove into me, and I get a 2-second penalty. That is utter bullshit. Once again, the penalty system of this game is absolutely laughable. Well, I'm in 13th. I've got to finish in the top 21, and, well, hello. Whoa, Jesus. Hello, Kevin. There was some sort of incident behind me, though, because there was yellow flags. Oh, for fuck's sake. I am so angry about that. And, of course, it happened to be my teammate as well. He came off his line. I know we're all going into that first corner to try and make positions. He just didn't see me there. I had nowhere to go. But, again, this penalty system. So with another 2-second penalty hovering over my head, don't think we're going to get points today, but we're going to maintain it to enough where we can still finish in the top 21. Because this is the longest circuit on the calendar, so therefore this will be a little bit longer, this actual race. But we're maintaining a little bit here to the Hulk in front of us and to our bum buddy Felipe. Which is a lot more pace on this than I was anticipating, and I haven't even put me up to the rich mode yet, so maybe we'll do that in just a moment. Nice little move there. Hopberg's still on the left of me there, so I'm not going to necessarily cover him, but I've got him now. He's still going to be on my anus. He's got me there on the inside. Give him some space, you little prick. I thought I was going to win. I'm still in the race. It actually hasn't damaged my front wing that much, but that has. And I don't actually know what happened there. Yep, that says it all. Okay, I'm just going to pause this here. I'm going to go back. So let's take a look. Side by side. Now I'm ahead. I'm covering my racing line. Again, he's really got nowhere to go. But he's got to assume that I'm going to come across there. The hands in the air. We both spin. I clip the wall. Go back through there. He's spinning around. I've gone wide with the damage. Somehow don't lose my wheel there. And as I come back onto the track, somebody's going to clip me. And I don't actually know what happened in terms of my car, because that camera angle isn't brilliant. So I'm guessing I've broken my suspension. I haven't actually lost a wheel. So if I track here, come back on. It's my teammate again. We're just bashing into each other, and yeah, I would have had to broken my suspension because I haven't lost a wheel. Alright, I'm going to... Well, obviously we're going to retire. But we're going to take a look at this first lap. Because, again, I'm calling bullshit on me getting the penalty there. Yep. Did Alonso do decently? No, Button got on the podium, my rival. So let's just take a quick look at the replay here. This is the start. Okay. I want to be the judge here, similar to what happened in Hungary, and be very fair and unbiased. So, look at the back there, top right of your screen. You will see the Sauber of myself go straight to the inside. Now, at this point, I am directly there. Now, where's the penalty? That's ridiculous. I've moved. I've flinched because Look at this point here. Okay, let's freeze frame there and take a look at that picture. I have got that entire side of the track to myself. Now, Nazar obviously is going to want to go around the mantle there, and he probably doesn't see where I am. So at this point, he turns his car to the right. Now, in full speed, I'm shitting myself. So I've flinched. As you can just see here, at that point I've turned slightly to the right. I've turned to the right to avoid him. I've turned again to the right, and he drives into me. And then for some reason, I get the penalty for that. I get the penalty for that. Can somebody watching this explain to me how I get the penalty? Once again, let's just take a look at this in slow motion replay. I am on the complete empty side of the track. He's going around the mantle. I, at this point, am driving in that direction, but I'm thinking, fuck, fuck, fuck. I turn my car to the right to avoid. I turn my car to the right to avoid. He drives into me, and somehow that involves me getting a penalty. I call bullshit, Codemasters. I want you to watch this and explain that to me. Now, as I drive into the Renault there, and Nazar, in the meantime, he also is just taking a few people out. You've got a Renault taking a Haas out, and then you've got a Toro Rosso spinning behind everyone. So that is how you do it. Now, I wonder if we can get this up to speed. That's where I had a Renault pass me. That was out of nowhere, Magnussen. Anyway, we saw the incident before. Pissed off about that. Very pissed off about that. Anyway, Hamilton wins, Rosberg, Button, Alonso, Massa, Ricciardo, Verstappen, Vettel, Bottas, and Perez. And if we move now into the championship, Hamilton 14 points clear of Rosberg with a lot. Ricciardo, Vettel, Verstappen, Raikkonen, Bottas, Button, Alonso, Perez, and I've dropped back now to 12. At least I'm still on the screen. Gee, Hulkenberg's having a bad year. Constructors-wise, nothing's changed in the positions. Sauber still in 7th. Mercedes, they've basically won it, I think, from that point. Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Williams, Force India, Sauber, Haas, Toro Rosso still with that solitary point. Mano Renault yet to score. We're off to Italy next. We're off to Monza, a circuit that I really, really enjoy, and I hope you really, really enjoy that too, and I hope you've really, really enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, rate us, everything else in between. Give us your verdict. Who was to blame? Was that Nazar or was that me? I'm sticking by the fact that that was Nazar. I shouldn't have gotten a penalty for it. The little prick, I'm going to punch him in the head back in the Sauber motorhome. Thanks for tuning in to Casual Gamer Oz. We'll speak to you from Italy.